Hey guys, this is Coach Garner, and today we're going to look at probability using a deck of cards. So, first thing we need to talk about is what is probability? Probability is the possible positive outcomes, so what you want to happen, divided by the total amount of outcomes possible. And I usually use percents, and I've kind of got it broken down into 0 to 49% would be unlikely to happen, and 51 to 100% would be likely to happen, with 50% being neutral. If it's 50-50, it has the same chance of being positive or negative outcomes. Next, we need to talk about how a deck of cards is broken down. So, in a standard deck of cards, there are 52 cards. There are 4 suits. We have spades and clubs, and these are always going to be black. And then we have hearts and diamonds, and these are always going to be red. There's 13 cards in each of these 4 suits. So in spades, you have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 10. And then we have what are called face cards: Jack, Queen, King, and Ace. Same thing on clubs, same thing on hearts, same thing on diamonds. So no one suit is any better or larger than the other. They have 13 cards each, and they have the exact same 13 cards each. When you look at the cards, 2 through 10 are going to have a number, and whatever that suit is, it's going to have that many. Like, so for example, the 10 of clubs is going to have 10 clubs on it. The 9 of hearts is going to have 9 hearts, so on and so forth. Then over here we have what is called the face cards. And they're called that because they usually have some type of face on them. So we have the Jack, the Queen, the King, and the Ace. This is the order that they go, as far as lowest being the Jack to largest being the Ace. And in a lot of games, the Ace can actually count as a 1 or as the largest value. For what we're going to do today, we're going to look at it being the largest value. So I have a couple of questions dealing with probability that we're going to look at today. And we're going to use this little chart I've made to kind of help us visualize it. So the first question: what is the probability of drawing a red card? Well, the red cards are half of the cards. So half as a probability would be 50%. So you have a 50-50 chance of drawing a red card. It's not likely or unlikely, it's neutral. Next, what is the probability of drawing a card that is larger than a 10? So we look at what cards are larger than 10. And I'm going to use some pennies here to kind of help us. Well, a Jack is larger than a 10. So there's 4 cards possible there. A Queen is larger. So there's 4 more. So now we have 8 possible. A King is larger than a 10. So now we have 12 possible. And an Ace is also larger. So there are 16 possible outcomes that would be larger than a 10. So 4, 8, 12, 16, and there's 52 cards total, so 16 out of 52. Well, if I divide that out, 16 divided by 52, I get 0.3. So 0.3, that's going to be 30%. It's going to fall into our unlikely category. So if I take just a deck of cards and I just randomly flip over a card, it is possible that I'm going to have a card larger than a 10, but it's not guaranteed. It's actually unlikely because there's more cards smaller than a 10 than there are larger. So I flip over one, and it was larger this time, but won't always be that case. We're looking at about 30% of the time we should flip over a card. Oh, got another one larger. Now we have one smaller, so on and so forth. All right, the next question we're going to look at is, what is the probability of drawing a card that is smaller than a 5? Well, what cards are smaller than a 5? The 4s are smaller than a 5. The 3s are smaller than a 5. And the 2s are smaller than a 5. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12 out of 52 cards in the deck that are smaller. So 12 divided by 52, that is 0.23. So once again, that's going to be 23%. That's going to fall in our unlikely category. So is it impossible to draw a card less than 5? No. But is it likely? Also no. So with a low probability, we shouldn't draw a card that is lower than 5 very often. So I just turn over the top card and it's a jack. So the probability kind of won on this scenario. All right, next question. Next question, what is the probability of drawing a red card that is smaller than 10 but larger than 5? So for this one, we can only use red cards. So the clubs and the spades, they're out on this one. It has to be smaller than a 10, so 9s can be smaller, but larger than a 5. So the 6s are larger, and it can be anything in that range. So for this one, with red cards between 10 and 5, there's only 8 possible cards. So 8 divided by the 52 cards, this is only a 15% chance, which is going to fall into our very unlikely range. So if I just take this random deck of cards here and don't look at it, just draw the top card, the chances of me drawing a red that is 6 through 9 is not very good, and I didn't. And I draw it again, and it's not a red between 6 and 9. All right, it worked on the third time. So the probability is low. The likelihood of you achieving that is low. One more question. What is the probability of drawing an ace? Well, how many aces are there? There are 4. There's an ace of spades, an ace of clubs, an ace of hearts, and an ace of diamonds. So there's only 4 of the 52 cards that we could draw. So 4 divided by 52 is about 7%. So that's extremely unlikely. That's going to be way over here close to 0 on our scale. So if I just take this deck of cards and randomly turn one over, the chances of me drawing an ace are not good. And it might take me a while to actually draw one because there's just not as many in the deck. So, it's a low probability when you're looking for one specific card. So just to kind of wrap that up before we play a little game, a low probability is going to be anything below 50%. A high probability is going to be above 50%. All right, so now we're going to play a little game. I've got Miss Franklin videoing for me, and I'm going to play against her. The purpose of this game is purely to turn over a higher card than your opponent. So if these were our 2 decks, Miss Franklin turns over a jack. For me to win, I need to turn over either a queen, a king, or an ace. And we are going to go through our deck of cards, and we're going to look at the percentages and probabilities and see how often the probability is correct versus how often it is not correct. So we're going to use our chart here because after every turn, the probabilities are going to change, and I'll show you that as we go. So let's go ahead and get started. Miss Franklin's going to turn over her first card, and she has a queen of clubs. So I'm going to put a penny on the queen of clubs. Well, how many cards are there that can beat her queen of clubs? There's the 4 aces and the 4 kings. So there's only 8 cards. Now, I'm not going to do 8 divided by 52 because there's not 52 cards left anymore. We already know what one of them is. So I'm going to do 8 divided by 51. And it is 15%. So that's going to fall in our very unlikely category. So I turn my card over. and it is the 2 of clubs. So Miss Franklin won this hand, so she's going to keep those 2 cards. And we're going to see who has the most cards by the end of the game. So Miss Franklin's going to turn hers over again. She turns over the 4 of diamonds. Okay, well now there's been 3 cards played, so there's not 52 available anymore. There are 49 available. So any 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, any of those will win for me. So I turn it over and it's a 6 of hearts. So the probabilities were correct on that one. I won. Miss Franklin turns over. She turns over an 8 of hearts. So we look at where an 8 is. Any 9, 10, jack, queen, king, or ace will win for me. Well, how many cards is that? 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, because this one's already been played, 19, 23. So there's 23 cards that could win for me. Well, how many cards are left? We've already played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 52 minus 5 is 47. So we're going to do 23 divided by 47, and it is 49%. So we're pretty close. It is still unlikely, but it's almost neutral, 49%. I turn over a 3 of hearts. I lose. She takes those cards as well. She turns over a jack of spades. So there are 2, 4, 6, 8. That's the aces and kings. 9, 10, 11 cards that would allow me to win. And now that we've played 7 cards, there's only 45 left. So 11 divided by 45 is 24%. Once again, this is pretty unlikely for me to win. I turn over, it's a 7, she wins again. I see a theme going here. She turns over a 3 of clubs, and I got to put my penny from last turn on the 7 of clubs. So she turns over a 3 of clubs. So almost any card should win. So I should win this one. I turn over an 8 of spades, and I do. She turns over a 5 of clubs. Well, any 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will win. So, thank you, Miss Franklin. So I should win this one as 2. There's a lot more available cards above that 5 than there are below. I turn over, and it's a 10 of diamonds, so the probabilities were correct. Miss Franklin turns over a queen of diamonds, so this one's going to be tough. There are only 8 cards that can beat her, and that's the aces and kings. I turn over, it's a 9 of hearts, and she wins. Okay, Miss Franklin turns over a 3 of diamonds. So I should win this one. I have almost every single card available over here other than a 2. Oh, I turned over the exact same thing. So since we tied, we're going to have to turn over another one. So she turns over a 6 of clubs. All right, so let's see exactly what my chances are of winning. I can have the 4 aces or the 4 kings, so that's 8. The 2 remaining queens, so that's 10. The 3 remaining jacks, so that's 13. The 3 remaining 10s, that's 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So there's 24 cards left that would allow me to win. And let's see how many cards are left total. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 cards total. So what did I say, 26? So 26 divided by 35, I have about a 74% chance of turning over a better card than she has. Does that mean I'm guaranteed to? No. But should I? Yes. I turn over, and it's a 2. So I lost that one, even though I had the percentages in my favor. Miss Franklin turns over a 4 of hearts. So I should be able to win this one. I turn over a 5 of diamonds, so I do win. Miss Franklin turns over a queen of hearts. So this one's going to be pretty tough to beat. Unless I turn over one of these aces or kings, she's going to win. I turned over the queen of spades, so now we're tied. She turns over a 5 of hearts. So I should be in okay shape here. There's only like 4 cards left that are smaller than that. So I should win this one. And I do. I turned over the ace of clubs. She turns over a 7 of diamonds. So that's kind of a middle card. It looks like there's more available to the left, or, well, I guess to your right, with the 8s and above than below. So I should have a pretty good chance of winning here. And I do. I had a 10 of spades. 9 of diamonds. So this one might be kind of tough. There are 3, 7, 10. There's 12 cards that I can turn over that will win. And I turned over the ace of diamonds, so I did win that. Miss Franklin turned over a 5 of spades. So I should win this one. The only thing I could lose with would be one of these 2s or 4s. I turn over another ace, and I win it. I should win this one. The only thing that could possibly happen is tie. I can't lose this. I could tie, but I won. 9 of spades. So this one I could win with a 10, jack, king, or ace. This actually looks like it's going to be pretty close. I want to add this one up just to see. So there's 1 ace left, all 4 kings, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 cards I could win with. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards I could lose with. So the chances of me winning should be a little bit higher. So that's going to be 10 out of 17. So it's not a great chance. But 58% of the time, which is on the likely side, I should win. I turn over. It's a king of clubs. I do win. And then we're going to run this one out a little bit quicker the rest of the game. She turned over a king, so I have to turn over an ace to win. I did not. She turns over a 6 of diamonds, so I should be able to win this one, and I did. She turns over a jack of hearts, so this one's going to be a little bit tougher because there's only 3 cards left that can win for me. I turn over the king of hearts, so even though the percentages were against me, I won that one. She turns over a jack of diamonds, so this one only has 2 cards left that could win for me, and I did not win. She turns over a 7 of hearts, so this one looks like it's going to be fairly close. There's 3 below, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above, so I should win this. I've got a better chance of winning than losing, and I did. Okay, 10 of clubs. This one's going to be tough. There's only 2 cards that can beat it. I turn over a 10, so we're tied. Oh man, she turned over a king of diamonds. So I have to turn over this ace to win, and I did not. She turns over a 4 of spades. Well, there's nothing below a 4 even left. So I should win this one. Worst case scenario, I tied. And the tie did happen. So we turn over our last card, and it is a 6 of spades. At some point, I must have missed a card. I turn over the ace of hearts, so I will take those. All right, Miss Franklin, count up your cards. See who won. See who's got the most. So when we counted up our cards, I had 32. Miss Franklin had 20. So I won our game. That's going to be all we're going to do for today. I just wanted to kind of show you how probability and percentages can work in many different types of card games. Just to kind of wrap it up here, remember that probability is what you want divided by the total possible outcomes. And then when you're looking at the percentages, 50% is neutral. That means it's not likely or unlikely. It's even. Below 50% means it's unlikely. And above 50% means it is likely. That is probability and percentages from Coach Garner and Miss Franklin. See y'all later.